Hello, everybody. Sorry, I had internet problems. It fixed it after I restarted my computer. So, Tech Nation will be with us. I'm calling his phone right now. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Anyway, great weekend for Caitlin Clark and the Fever. And we're going to talk about that. And hey, what's up? I had internet problems, but I've been here for like last minute. I had to restart my computer. I don't know what was going on. All of a sudden, my computer was off. Then the internet wasn't working. Then it was working. Then it wasn't working. It's a good thing I started early. How you doing?
Yeah. Everything's cool, man. What's up with you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I hope everybody could find it. Now, I think this is the right live thing. I hope so. Let's see. Well, it must be because you're on the take that I did, so it must be the right take.
Let me see.
Because I had 0 listeners. It doesn't seem right, but let me just see the comments. Oh, here it is. All right. Vadim, are you there? Are people there? Oh, okay, someone's on now. Okay, all right. No, because I wasn't. I usually go on like 5 minutes early. So supposedly, someone sent me an email about Caitlin Clark making a comment about the investigation, and she said all the right things, and then she went on and talked about the fact that she went into the game again. She said she went in to go get Bonner the ball because it was frustrating her because nobody could get the ball to her in the post to get that. To get the she's like ignored the part about the fact that she got the triple double.
Yeah,
she went in for both reasons, I think.
I mean, listen, we know she wanted to get the triple double, and it's okay.
It's a triple double as opposed to a double. A triple double is 6 times rarer than a double double. So I don't have a problem with stat padding for a triple double because it's so rare. A double double I have a problem with, especially when you're keeping a streak going and it's superficial. It's just Caitlin Clark doesn't stat pad. She never stat pad for a double double ever. I ever see. She never worries about a double double.
I don't mind stat padding for a triple double if it's like 4 minutes left in the game. Now, if she would have went in with 30 seconds left in the game, that's correct. You know what I mean? It was 4 minutes left in the game. Like
it might have been more than that.
And it's the first game of the season.
Right. I think it was around between 4 and 5. I could be wrong. Yeah.
Like let the fans have something. Let the fans have something, man.
Yeah. Well, the fans enjoyed seeing it. So you're right. You're actually turning the fans on when you do that. So but Charlie didn't like it.
Well, I mean, old school people, you know what I mean? Listen, old school people gonna, might complain about it, but it's no big deal. It's nothing to where, like, it's not even worth talking about.
All right, so we got 3 main topics. We got the foul, we got the game itself, we got Caitlin Clark's play, that's 3, and we got the 4th thing is with this silly investigation. Which one you want to talk about first?
He said this silly. You go ahead and decide, man. I'm cool to talk about anything, man.
All right.
I got thoughts on all.
Let's talk about the foul. So,
okay.
My feeling was that they were reffing a good game until they missed the foul on Caitlin Clark. I mean,
Natasha Howard.
She pushing Natasha Howard in the back. That was not underneath the basket. That was hard to see. The back. She had her back to her. It was in the open area. At least 2 of the refs, if not 3 of them, should have seen that foul. Caitlin pointed to it. They still didn't blow their whistle. She goes over there, and she played on the ball. She clearly was not letting her arms go up, but she played the ball. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't like intentional fouls, like just hit the person. And then their arms are tangled. And in my feeling is when she gave the little push, it was partly because of Angel Reese pushing Natasha Howard in the back and partly because their arms were tangled. And I don't think Angel Reese flopped. Other people did. I think she was off.
You don't think she flopped?
I think she was off balance, and Caitlin's strong.
Holy wow.
She pushed her.
Yeah. She flopped so she could have a reason to get up and be mad at Caitlin. The only reason she flopped Angel, I watch Angel when she's on the court and down low since LSU days. She's a man amongst a woman amongst girls when it comes to banging down low. She ain't that, you can't move her, man, like that. Now, when she shoots, yeah, she can get off balance. I'll give you that. But no, ain't no guard knocking Angel Reese out of the post. No way.
I didn't see her flopping.
She flopped so she could have a reason to get up and get in Caitlin's face.
Right. Well, anyways, first of all, I don't know if I don't think I misspoke. I said that triple doubles are 6 times rarer than double doubles. So I don't know how you say I'm getting it wrong. You're saying the same thing I did. So I don't know what you're talking about. So anyways, if I said it backwards, you obviously knew what I meant. But I don't think I did. The tape's there. I don't think she flopped. A lot of other people did. That's fine. I don't think people flop as much as people say they do. That's my personal opinion. I think it's also. I also think it's hard to tell when people flop. Obviously, Vlade Divac. What's his name? Vlade Divac. Obviously, Vlade Divac was obvious when he flopped, but not everybody. It's not always so obvious when it is, because these guys are big guys, yes, but when they're off balance and another big guy hits you, it's easy to fall to the ground, and that's what happens when you fall to the ground. Your arms go up in the air because you're not expecting it. So anyway, but it's not really the issue whether she flopped or not. It's the fact that she got up afterwards and went after Caitlin Clark. But when Alyssa Thomas took her down by the neck, she didn't do anything. She didn't go after Alyssa Thomas after Alyssa Thomas took her down by the neck. She went after Caitlin Clark because she hates Caitlin Clark, and she didn't like the fact that Caitlin Clark gave her a little bump. She didn't care that Alyssa Thomas almost gave her a concussion. Mm-hmm. That was the story. Yeah. That's why the refs evaluated it, because she went after Caitlin Clark. If they hadn't, they probably wouldn't have evaluated it, and would have been a flagrant.
Listen, let me just say this about the flop. Mark, had she not flopped, had it just been a take foul, Caitlin reaches around, pins her arms, ref blows the whistle, they release, and then the balls. And then Angel walks to the foul line. Angel would have looked crazy getting in Caitlin's face. She would have looked crazy if they just got tied up for a second and then released. She needed to fall down to have a you don't understand.
Think she had time to think that through that clearly.
Oh, Mark.
You made it sound like a plot that she planned.
Mark. She dreams about Caitlin Clark. The only other person.
Yeah, this happened too quick, though. You can't think
other than her family, other than her loved ones, other than her boyfriend, the person she thinks most about on this planet is Caitlin Clark. Press 1.
I agree with that. I just said that. I think she's obsessed with Caitlin Clark because she's such a narcissist and has such a big ego. She thinks that she should be Caitlin Clark. She thinks she should be the one that's getting the highest ratings and all the attention and all the publicity and all the money. And she thinks that should be the best player. And she's not any of those things. And she knows it, so it bothers the crap out of her. And she thinks part of it's because Caitlin Clark's white. And that's what she thinks. And I agree with you. She's obsessed with Caitlin Clark. And here's my problem with the flagrant foul is that if they wanted to establish a new order and call the game tighter and less physical, like I want them to do, and other people want them to do, so there's better flow into the basketball games, it would be fine, except for the fact that they did it to one person who didn't get any of those calls last year. If they wanted to do that to Alyssa Thomas, I would have thought that was a great time to do it. Set an example, set the standard right there. Alyssa Thomas did something like that, give her the flagrant one. But to do it to Caitlin Clark is ridiculous. She's a clean player. And they set an example for her in the beginning of the year, and it was barely, you could argue that it should have been a flagrant one too. But if you're going to do it, you should have done it to Alyssa Thomas, someone like that. If you're going to do a borderline call like that, that's my feeling.
I 1,000% agree with you. Now here's the thing though, Mark. You're very naive. You're very you see the best in people, right? You see the best in people. Let me put it like that. I don't want to call you naive. You're hopeful. You're optimistic about people. The reason I think about these WNBA players, I usually think that their actions are tinted and tinged with nefarious and ill will, is because of the past. It seems like you forget. You wipe the slate clean after every incident. I don't. I don't wipe the slate clean after every incident. Angel Angel versus Caitlyn. She's the culmination of all of those events. Everything she does. You don't think that she was like, if I get tied up with Caitlyn, I'm gonna do something. You don't think if Caitlyn would have came down the lane and Angel was right there, you don't think Angel would have tried to knock her down, foul her hard?
Of course.
So okay, so now it's the game's going along. Angel hasn't had a chance yet to knock Caitlyn down because Caitlyn, it just happened like that. Caitlyn was shooting twos. Usually she drives, but she was pulling up for long twos, and I was like, okay. So Caitlyn wasn't, Angel didn't get a chance to make contact with Caitlyn, and then there it was, the take foul, and she's like, all right, this is my chance. And she just did it. And she took advantage of it.
I don't know. That's all pure speculation. I can't prove you're right.
Yes, everything is speculation. We're speculating. Yes, I'm speculating.
I think she was off balance, and Caitlyn gave her a little extra shove for two reasons. The two reasons I gave you: one, their arms were tangled up, and two, because she got away with that foul against Natasha Howard, which was a cheap foul. Not just because she got away with it, because it was a cheap foul that could have hurt her teammate, and she was sticking up for her teammate as she gave that little extra push. And that's what I think happened. Whether it should have been a failure one against Caitlyn Clark, no, not against her. If Alyssa Thomas did it, yeah, I thought that should have been against her, because you got to set a standard in the beginning of the year to make this. You got to call the game tighter. You can't let it be so physical. It takes away from the beauty of the exciting players in the sport and the guards that are coming up in college right now. And I'm tired of these women are just banging up against each other. I remember even A'ja Wilson got knocked in the face 3 times last year. I'm sticking up for A'ja Wilson in this particular case. Maybe it's because she was real physical with players. But you can't have that. You can't have someone get knocked in the face 3 times in one game. That's not basketball. They got to call the game tighter. And it's too bad they did it. They started with Caitlyn Clark. Because I thought they were fair to her until this incident. The whole game, I thought those refs were giving her calls that she deserved. I didn't think they gave her anything. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were fair to the team. I mean, who shot more free throws? The Fever shot a fair number more.
I think the refs feel like, okay, if we don't give Caitlyn this flagrant, the black community is going to be.
They go crazy. I know. Yeah. Because even his description was, I'll read what he said, and two-thirds of it was wrong. He said, this is the exact quote. He said the foul on Clark met the criteria for flagrant foul 1 for wind-up, impact, and follow-through for the extension of the left hand on Reese's back. Only the last part is true. There was no wind-up, and there was not great impact. So that was completely false. He lied.
Nope. That was a DEI flagrant foul, man.
I agree. And then they said there was a physical taunt technical on Boston. There was no physical taunt. She's trying to stop Angel Reese. That was worse than the flagrant 1 call. The technical on Angel Reese. She did what not on Angel Reese, on Aaliyah Boston. She tried to prevent a fight. How did they give her a technical? She didn't push anybody. She just put her arm in front of. You can watch it. Everybody saw it. All she did was grab a little bit of Angel Reese and put her arm in front of him, prevent her from going and punching Caitlyn Clark. That was a shame that she got attacked. I bet you they appeal that, and they're probably going to rescind it. That's my guess.
Okay. Hey, man, we agree to disagree.
What, on Aaliyah Boston? Or on we're only disagreeing. No, the only thing we disagree with so far is that I don't think we flopped. That's about the only thing we disagree with.
On the flop. Yeah, on the flop. Yeah.
That's the only thing we're disagreeing with. Everything else we agree on. That's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't want to agree with you on 100% of the time. That wouldn't be any fun.
I don't care if I never agree with you. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, I know. So how did you thought Caitlyn Clark played?
I thought she played absolutely spectacular.
I agree.
I do have some problems, though.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead.
and it's not with her; it's with the teammates. Um, I feel like they don't find her enough when she's open. I feel like,
Yeah, it's first
uh,
game though. I agree. Go ahead.
well, it's the first game, but actually it's the third game because the preseason, the game against Brazil, and the two preseason games.
Okay.
So actually, it's the fourth game. But whatever. Um, I feel like Caitlin should be averaging 30. Press one in the chat if you agree with me. I feel like Caitlin's so much better than everyone. She should average 30.
She doesn't want to.
She
She wants to set other
Yeah,
people up.
no, I think she does want to. Because I saw her the other to see her when she don't get the ball when she's wide open, she'd be upset. You know, you don't see her when she don't when she knows she's open and the girl dribbles off her foot or throws the ball off the shot clock and is and or turns it over. And Caitlin's like, if she's sitting there with her hands ready, waiting for the ball, and they don't pass it to her, she lets you know she's upset.
I know, I understand, but there's four players for every player that can pass this another teammate. It can't always be Caitlin. But I understand. I think they need to set her more screens because last year she actually made more baskets with unassisted shots than anybody else percentage wise or something like that. Some figure I saw. And if they set her some screens, she wouldn't have to always create her own shot. And then her shooting percentage will go up. So I agree that they need to look for her more when she doesn't have the ball and also to set screens for her because she looks for everybody else. So, Kelsey Mitchell is going to do her thing, but she's passed better this preseason and in this game better than she has before in terms of at times she's made some nice passes. She only had a couple assists, but she doesn't handle the ball a lot. So
Yeah, but it's still like I will say this: there wasn't much difference between this offense and the Christie Sides offense.
That's because it's Caitlin Clark's offense. And
Yeah,
the fast break
it looked
offense
the
was
same.
pretty much the same, but
Yeah,
there
the
was a little
fast
bit more
break
movement
offense.
on
Yeah,
half. It was a little bit more movement on the half court offense in the preseason in this game. I don't think
yeah, but
it's
in
not
the
as good
half
as
court she doesn't.
the Aces or New York.
But she doesn't get the ball in the half court, so it's like I would like to. I would like to see her get the ball in the half court. Now, Aaliyah,
Well,
she
Robert's
started the
disagreeing with
season
you.
looking.
Robert's
Go ahead.
disagreeing with you. He says the ball movement was a lot better. What do you mean? I think it was better. I think he's disagreeing with you, but you can respond.
Well, ball movement doesn't mean anything unless it gets Caitlin a good shot in half court.
No.
Sometimes, no. Sometimes, like I'm not saying she has to get all the shots in half court, but if you're not getting Caitlin looks for three out of the half court where she can run to the left, because that's her shot when she's veering to the left or fading to the left. That's her shot. If you can't get her that shot in your half court 4 or 5 times a game, what are we doing?
Well, let's revisit this thought like 5 or 10 games from now. That when it takes a while for everything.
No, I want to review it every game, Mark.
All right, we'll review it every game if you want.
You have to seriously because you want change, right?
No, I agree with you. To get Caitlin Clark an open shot, either because she's open and someone passes to her, or because someone sets a screen for her, is a very good thing because she has a great shooter and her shooting percentage should be higher than it was last year. And the reason it wasn't is because she always had to create her own shot. So yes, I agree that's a good idea. I think it's beneficial for the team because they'll score more points when Caitlin Clark shoots. So I agree with that concept.
And Caitlin Clark's shots are Caitlin Clark shooting, and the other shots are the other girl shooting.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, she shoots.
No. What I'm saying is Caitlin Clark getting hot. Caitlin Clark hitting the three. You notice since WNBA chat, have you ever if you followed her at Iowa? I want to ask the chat because I don't know. I haven't seen. Okay. I have you ever seen her get hot and hit like 3-4 threes in a row? I'm asking the chat. Press 1 if you've seen her. No, I'm talking about not in the game. I'm talking about 3 or 4 threes where they like, oh, she just hit 1. All right, with Caitlin. She just hit 2. Oh, with Caitlin. She just hit 3. Oh, all right, Caitlin. it seemed like they try to cool her off. It doesn't seem like they feed her. I haven't seen her go off one time where she had a flurry. Like they say, the Curry flurry. I haven't seen her go on a Curry flurry one time since she's been in the WNBA.
I agree with that, except for like the one game against Washington, she did go on a little roll, and that like the 10th game of the year. And another game, she went on a little roll. But I do agree that like when I saw Curry in the Olympics,
I'm not talking about for the game. See, these people are not listening to what I'm saying. They think I'm talking about for the whole game. Yes, we've seen her hit 7 threes in a game. I'm talking about like at Iowa, where she just takes over. And it's like, yo, she coming down, boom, next possession. They looking for her.
Right.
They find her, boom, next possession.
Yeah, like I tell you know what you're talking about. Like with Curry in the Olympics in the gold medal game, he got hot, and you got Kevin Durant open, but he threw it to Curry because he was even hotter. So I mean, because he was hot, and like
you muted, Mark. You muted. Mark, you hit the mute button.
Oh, no, I didn't hit anything. I think
okay.
There's some Wi-Fi issue in the area. I don't know what it is. So if something goes, it's the Wi-Fi. Because there was no Wi-Fi. I had first it didn't work, then it worked, then it didn't work, then I restarted my computer, then it worked again. And I usually have no problem with Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is really good.
You need a Snickers, Mark.
Snickers?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Mark. You agree with me. These people are saying in the chat that they've seen her go off like she did in Iowa. I haven't seen it. I see her hit a 3. I see her open the next time down, and I see another girl. I see Kelsey Mitchell like throw up some garbage, or Aaliyah Mitchell wants to throw up some garbage. It don't seem like they understand when she get hot, the crowd gonna go crazy and the house gonna come down. It seemed like they cool her off. It seemed like her teammates cool her off. Caitlin is so good in this league. She's so much better than everyone else. She should be averaging 30 points a game. Easy.
I wouldn't mind seeing that as long as she's getting 10 assists too. I'd like to see her get 10 assists. I think it's important for her to get the assists because I think it's important for her to make her teammates better. That makes her even a better player. So yeah.
I don't think her averaging 30 would affect her assists because here's the thing. Think about how many
layups.
Think about how many layups think about how many times she gives Aaliyah the ball, right? Aaliyah misses the layup, gets the rebound, and makes the shot. That's not an assist.
I know.
So it's like Caitlin, it won't matter because she'll still be giving them. She's still. It's like maybe the Indiana Fever leave about 8 assists on the table for Caitlin every game. They leave 8, about at least 8, either dropping passes, missing the first shot, then making it, or getting the and one and missing the shot, or not, missing the layup or whatever, or dropping the wide open pass like Colston did. Remember on the 10th rebound? She came down and threw that pass to Colston, and Colston dropped it.
Right.
That stuff, they miss about 8 assists a game. So I don't really care about it.
Obviously, she'd be averaging more assists than she did last year, and she should have had another 5 to 10 assists yesterday. So someone I think it was Mick or someone said that she had 4 potential assists where the person was just fouled, but that's not the player's fault. That just happened. She had 4 times.
Yeah.
She passed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's normal in basketball. That happens.
She's her play, her running the quarterback position. She's like a quarterback on offense. That when she runs like the quarterback, it doesn't matter if she gets the assist or not. It's just her pushing the ball up and generating the offense. And whether she gets the assist or not, I don't really care. I want to see more shots. I want to see her get more threes up and more shots because I feel like that's going to get the crowd energized.
That's true.
The crowd has never come down. They've never let the crowd get into the game. They've never. The crowd has.
She only took 13 shots. She took 14 and a half a game last year, 14 and 7.47 if you include the two playoff games. So she needs to take more than 13 shots. There's no question about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
they never had the crowd come down. They've never had the. They've never had they've never gave the fans what they wanted in that arena one time.
Let's see. Hang on. Someone said, I was surprised by some of Kelsey's passes. It took them. Yeah, she's going to take Kelsey Mitchell a while to break her bad habits, just like it took a while for Caitlin Clark to break her defensive habits. Her defensive habits were broken pretty well in this game. She squatted her. She had her knees bent. She played better on ball defense in this game. She just played better defense overall. Yeah, Kelsey Plum took a lot of shots because she played against the expansion team, Golden State. So she played against theoretically the weakest team in the league. That's why she kind of went crazy. So we'll see what happens. When she played against a better team, her scoring went down to like 20 or 23 or something like that.
Oh, they played another. The Sparks played another game since then.
Yeah, she played decent, but her numbers were way lower than they lost against a good team. I forget which team it was, but yeah, because I did a video on that today. I did a video on how all the MVP candidates played, and also Chelsea Gray. I don't think she's an MVP candidate, but I was basically pointing out that Caitlin Clark made a statement in the first game that she's the best point guard, she's the best passer, and she's here to try to get the MVP. And she drew first blood, I said, with that triple-double. And, she shot well, too. So it wasn't like she just got a triple-double. She shot 50% from threes. And she only had 3 turnovers. Although the scorekeeper made her cut her a break on a turnover early in the game. She passed a ball that was a little long that they did catch, but she was going out of bounds as she caught it. And then she threw it back in. I forgot who it was. And they ended up being turned over, but they could have marked it as a turnover. They would have last year. So other than that, because I know it wasn't marked as a turnover because she had 0 turnovers after that. But anyways, that's okay. They owe her a lot of turnovers last year. They gave her turnovers for balls that were perfectly passed, and they just dropped them. And they're not supposed to do that. I looked up the rules. So scorekeepers are even against Caitlin Clark. So what about their defense? What do you think their defense?
Obviously the Chicago Sky only had 58 points, so the defense was excellent, man. I mean, you hold somebody 58 points, and Caitlin, like you said, like she's an airhead on weak side. When she's on weak side defense, she always gets back cut. She's just an airhead. She doesn't really like think about that. But I think that this game she was conscious when she was off the ball on defense.
Me too.
She was moving her head. She moved her head around because one thing about her was she always gets back cut because she's kind of like glaring at, looking, cheating, and her man just the person she's guarding just back cuts her all the time. And it seemed like she kept her head on the swivel this game.
Well, I agree with you, and their super fans don't realize that's one of her weaknesses on her defense. And also, she's too far off her person when the person's on the 3-point line. She's in no man's land, and that drives Rob crazy. And they're not double teaming in the post, so why is she in no man's land? Just to stop a pass through the middle? She's got to stop doing that and stop trying to get those type of things. And just be on the person at the 3-point shot. She's not big and quick enough to go stop the 3-point shots. Last year, the person was hitting the shot when they were wide open. But I don't think Stephanie White's going to allow her to play that type of defense anymore. I think she's going to get on her the whole year.
Everybody hit the like button, man. How many likes we got, man? And support the channel, man. Hey, support this channel. You got a couple of people, but no one brings you a sports show where anybody can come on, like your favorite YouTubers can come on. And this is, I don't think Rob clicks up. Rob allows any YouTuber to come on, right? It's like just kind of like you allow anybody who's in the Caitlin Clark space can come on, right?
Mark, but yeah.
Mark, my bad. Mark and Rob. Anybody in the Caitlin Clark space can come on, right, Mark?
Yes. I'll have anybody on once. If the person was a disaster like Michael Tiller, I won't have him on again. But I'll have anybody on. I actually invited something simply ball dropping. I invited him on the show.
Yeah, man. So yeah,
but he chickened out. He chickened out. He refused.
Salute to Mark and Rob, man. And make sure y'all hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. Make sure you hit the Super Chat, man. Super Chat some questions so we can answer. So we can answer some of your questions. We can't see. I can't answer the chat because it's moving too fast. But if y'all want to ask us some questions, man, super chat them so we can put them on the screen and we can dialogue with you guys, man. But thanks, yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Thanks,
go
to the next. If you put money in front of the question, then you definitely be put up on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Someone said bring back Tiller. It was entertaining. I don't think it was entertaining, but I know I did. I actually invented, and when I did a video on simply ball dropping, when he lied about what Maya Moore said about leadership, he twisted it around like she could be an even better leader to saying that means she's not a good leader, which is not what it means. That's not what the phrase means. So I said he was a liar, and I made a video of it. And he came in my chat and started saying, accused me of lying. I said no, and I said you act. And she also said that Juju Watkins was better as a freshman than Caitlin Clark was as a senior, which was bizarre. And he said he denied that, but his thumbnail says it. It's I made sure he couldn't change it. And his heading, I changed it. I actually did a screenshot on that. And then I said, you can come on the show anytime you want.
About them.
And what he said was, he said, no, you can come on mine.
Some of those things ain't even worth talking about, man. I'm not.
No, I know, but I invited him.
Here's the thing. Since Juju got hurt, you haven't heard her name one time. It's almost as like she just vanished. Yeah. And and that was the true tell of the whole Juju Watkins versus Caitlin Clark manufactured not rivalry but manufactured comparison. Mm-hmm. The second Juju got hurt, it's almost as if she moved to Siberia. She's gone.
Well, plus the season's over with, but yeah, I agree.
No, but it don't matter. If you're a star on that level, we're supposed to be hearing updates on her recovery. We're supposed to be seeing videos of her with crutches on. We're supposed to be seeing videos of her with rehab. No one cares.
Right. I agree. Yes. So anyways, what about the investigation? You want to give me your summary of what you think of that?
I think the investigation was a big mistake by the WNBA. I feel they legitimized it. I
agree with that completely. And what I think they should have done is investigate it, but don't announce they were investigating it. Just investigate it. If they think there's something to it, just investigate it. Low key investigation. Don't tell anybody you're investigating. You didn't have to make a statement about it. It's like it's so crazy. Yeah, and then you find out there's nothing, and then nobody ever finds out about the accusations or the investigation because there wasn't any validity in the first place, as far as we can tell. I don't want to look like I don't want any of us to look like we're being, contradicting ourselves or denying that something happened. But so far, there's been no proof that anything happened other than a dolphin sound, which it sounds like a dolphin to me. It doesn't sound like a monkey. I don't know why.
Yeah, but Mark, here's the thing you got to understand. Those players in the WNBA, they're divas, they're overly emotional, they're drama queens. Are you telling me, Mark, that you think someone's yelling N-word from the hold on, let me take this call. I'm right quick.
Your daughter's coming home too. No, I don't think anybody did that. And I think if someone started doing someone could blurt out one comment like whatever, UN, whatever it is. But if someone starts doing that on a regular basis, as soon as someone says it once or twice, someone out of the 17, what is it? That 17, was it at home, right? So like 17,000. Someone in that 17,000 or 15,000, it's Indiana, I guess it holds 15,000. So one of those 15,000 people would have started recording if someone's making those racial slurs after the first time. So yeah, one word might have got out, but after that, someone starts recording after that. So I don't think it happened. If it did, it happened one time. So I doubt. I really doubt it happened. So that's my personal opinion.
Let me just say this, Mark, before I get out of here. Are you saying that with these divas, these drama queens, these actors, WNBA players, these black chicks, are you telling me that they could be on the floor and someone yelling audibly, "N-word, N-word"?
No,
darky,
I don't think it happened.
Darky.
I don't think it happened.
Hold on, Mark, hold on. Let's pretend. And they're on the sideline. And every head isn't just whipping around to where the sound came from. They're not pointing up into the stands, telling the ushers to go get them. They're not stopping the game, pointing like. Are you kidding me? You're telling me they just composed all game while they're being heckled with N-word and N-word from the stands and darky and monkey, and then after the game they're like, now we can release. Now we can talk about it. Get the hell out of here.
No, I don't think it happened.
They would have heard anything that sounded like a slur, all of their heads would have jerked around. You would have known exactly what section it came from. People in that section would have been telling that person, cussing that person out, trying to get them kicked out. There's no way that could happen. It's impossible.
I agree, and they have no proof that it happened either. That's why I said that the investigation, whatever should be done, should be very low key and not announced to the world. It was just stupid for them to announce it to the world. They can investigate without telling everybody they're investigating. That's what emails are for. That's what emails and phone calls are for. You don't have to make a press conference over an investigation with no proof. That's silly.
Yo, right now, let's just pretend, Mark, we're at a game. We're sitting first row, like where the players sit.
Like we should sit.
We hear somebody drop an N-bomb. What's the first from behind us? First thing you going to do, Mark?
Gonna look that direction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm out of here, Mark. I'll see you later, man. I gotta get ready for my kids, man.
All right. Thanks for stopping
Salute
by.
to everybody. Make sure y'all hit that super chat, man. Peace out.
And are you going live for the games? Do you go live for the games? Do you go live for the games, Eck? Or is he out? I don't know if he can hear me still. I'll have to call him. In fact, does he go live for the shows? Racism on social media. I agree. Racism, social media, and it's only Caitlin Clark fans get accused of the racism. Even though I'm told Angel Reese fans say racist things all the time, but Angel Reese never has to address it. Isn't that amazing? Caitlin Clark has to address her fans, or not her fans, these trolls, but I guess you could call them fans if they're on her side. These troll fans, we'll call them. But Angel Reese doesn't have to address her troll fans. And I'm not saying all Angel Reese are like that either. They're troll fans too. Most of them don't even go to the games or watch the games. That's why her attendance and viewership is so low. They're just trolls. So let's see. I would say at a public area, white people, 95% would snitch on white people being overtly racist. Yes, I agree. And I just don't think it happened. And maybe Angel Reese was overly sensitive and thought that sound sounded like a monkey sound instead of a dolphin sound. It sounds like a dolphin sound to me. That's all I have to say. And I know I did. I played Portnoy's. He had a 3-minute rant. I played it in a video today. And he said he didn't hear anything. He doesn't seem like a liar in that type of way. He did. He said there was nothing like that. And she's just upset because they lost by 35 points. And Caitlin Clark gave her a little shove. And Caitlin Clark outplayed her. And she didn't get, I guess she did get a double-double. And she shot poorly. Could I go on? And she didn't show that she was the best player in the league. Like she thought she was going to prove to everybody. Her layups didn't improve. She was upset about that. That's what she's upset about. All right. So listen, he's gone. So give me some questions to keep the things flowing I'll look at the comments and comment on them. But yeah, there would have been video within a couple seconds. Like someone starts taping something, if something happens like that, right away it happens. How many times have you seen a video of something you would never believe there's a video of it or tape of it? Yeah, it's social media. They can't monitor social media. That's such a most. The only reason they formed that is to go after Caitlin Clark fans. That's the only reason they formed that. They didn't care about hate towards Caitlin Clark. That didn't matter. The hate from the media, the hate from the trolls, the hate from the players, the hate from the own commissioner. The commissioner doesn't even like her. I don't know if the commissioner hates her, but the commissioner doesn't like her. And it's ridiculous because the only reason commissioner is going to keep her job is because Caitlin Clark's going to make the league popular. Reese fans do it, but accused fans. I don't know. I haven't even seen the racial comments by either one of the fans because I'm only on X to get material for the show, and it's usually on Ken Swift, and he doesn't usually cover stuff like that. But this is what I've heard is that both of them had said racist things back and forth to each other. So I don't believe it's a one-way street. My problem with it is that they assume these are real fans, but they're not. They're trolls. And they also don't seem to have to address it to Angel Reese's about her fans, but to Caitlin Clark. That's my problem with it. So, but when you have that many fans, some of them are going to be jerks. So it seems like percentage-wise, Reese has more bigger jerks because they overrate her, at least in terms of that. So that's what I would say. Percentage-wise, they probably have worse fans. And they don't even support her. Forget about going to the games. Only increased attendance by 1,500. They don't watch her on TV either. That's free. So I don't know what to say. So there's okay. Oh, I didn't see that. You got a link? You got a link for that? There was a Pacer fan assaulted by a horde of Knicks fans. Wow, I hope they get arrested. That's so cheap. It's so cheap for a group of people to attack another person. At least be a man about it. Do one-on-one. For Christ's sakes. Yes, I think when she had that game against Haley Van Lith was it Louisville? I think she said, "You're down by 15. Shut the F up," or shut up. Because Haley Van Lith started out with the trash talking that game. It's the way I see it. And she was very demonstrative in the first quarter because she was hot. Haley Van Lith was hot that game in the first quarter. Her coach had there's video of their coach calming down Haley Van Lith. She was so excited she was hot in that game. And then eventually Iowa took control. And I think Haley was still demonstrative. I don't know if she was still trash talking, but Caitlin did say that in that game. That's what people said. But lip reader said that's what she said. I don't know if she said the F or not, but she should have said that. That did not. Okay, a 5-minute live video of the entire incident, and that did not happen behind the sky bench. What did not happen behind the sky bench? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, let me go look, see if you give me an explanation on that. Oh yeah, they already asked Caitlin Clark about the investigation already. They already asked her. She gave a standard answer. It was good. I think, yeah. A 5-minute live video of an entire. What incident are we talking about? Are we talking about the foul? Are we talking about the that? I don't know what that is. Sorry. They said the Fever wore MAGA red. Oh my God, they're insane. That's their team color, red and blue, right? And white, red, blue, and white. Clark haters say that the WNBA commissioner hates Reese. Oh my God. They don't. Whatever. They make things up. I read a comment that said Caitlin Clark is the princess and you can't touch her. She gets a foul call against her. They made it sound like she gets a great whistle when she gets the worst whistle in the history of basketball. These people are not with reality. I actually saw a comment like that, insinuating she gets the best whistle ever when she gets the worst whistle ever. It's just, yeah, I agree. It's a matter of numbers. Caitlin Clark has more fans, so a lot more fans. So she's going to have, if the same percentage of bad fans or trolls, she's obviously going to have more of those because she's got 10 times the amount of fans. So you're going to get some of that. And it's childish. Racism is childish, and insults like that are childish. So what? I'm behind. What are you talking about here? Different angles of what? The foul? Yeah, they shouldn't have an agenda. You rooting against Caleb for the first time? Go Knicks. All right. Well, Rob's rooting against Indiana too, but not necessarily against Caton. All right. Oh, really? I believe you. I just don't. I don't have time for that. You know, I went to Simply Ball Dropping website once and looked at some of his stuff, and I couldn't believe the comments that were being made by them. It was just flat out lies. Oh, really? Okay. So Rudy has it, and so does Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah, I'll look it up. I just can't do it right now. But unless you guys are interested in that, I'll try to Google it and play it. But how long? I can do it. Give me a second. I don't want. Then you say I get behind in this chat if I do that. So. Oh my God. You didn't look hurt? All right. All right, let's keep it civil in the chat. If you can. We don't turn into recent Clark fans trolling each other. I believe that the next 4 games, there's going to be an incident every game, just between the Sky and the Fever. And I don't even think it's fair that they gave them a 5th game against each other, because that took away a game on one of the teams in the Western Conference, because some of the ones in the Western Conference have 4 games and some had 3, which means one of the ones that had 3 would have had a 4th game if they hadn't given Sky and Fever a 5th game. They should have just had 2 and 2, 2 home, 2 away, and just play them on days when it's most likely at the highest ratings. It just seems silly to adjust the schedule based upon the fact that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. They gave him an extra game. That's the reason you have an extra game, is because it draws it ratings. There are Reese fans that you're calling crazy. Yeah, I think most of Reese fans seem to be crazy because they have an unrealistic evaluation of her abilities. I mean, there's some Clarksies out there who do also who say Caitlin Clark is better than she is, but it's a much smaller percentage, and her overrating of Caitlin Clark is much slighter than the overrating of Angel Reese. They think Angel Reese is as good as Caitlin Clark still. Okay, that's insane. That's insanity. Okay, so that's my problem with their fans. I've seen the comments over in Empty Ball Dropping. I can't say it. Yeah, that's the problem. Is a lot of her fans are just there for social media, and that's it. I don't even think they watch her games that much. If they did, her views ratings would be higher. So, yeah. And they had misleading stat. They had that misleading stat about 18 of the 19 games involved the Fever in the sky. Well, that's because it was all the Fever. Had the 14 highest rated games. Yeah, so other reaction. Yeah, I didn't think there was any race calling during the foul and afterwards, as a free throw afterwards, because she overreacted. Let's be honest about that. Caitlin gave her a little shove, but she overreacted to it. And she overreacted because it was Caitlin Clark. Again, would she have gone after Alyssa Thomas? If Alyssa Thomas threw her to the ground? No, she'd thank her again. No, she's a little baby. She's a bully. When she gets rebounds, she's a bully herself. She elbows. She pushes people in the back, as we saw. She goes over the back of people and gets away with it. So she's a bit of a bully herself. I saw her pull in college, her senior year. She was playing defense against South Carolina. She pulled Camila Cardozo's hair, pulled it back. That's cheap. Pulling someone's hair. Couldn't do that to me. But she did that. That's not good defense. It's cheap. Pushing someone in the back is cheap. You got to do this. You got to do the smart defense, like Larry Bird used to do. A little nudge underneath, push, little push underneath when they're tangled up and stuff. Not like way out in the open 2 feet when the person's back is to you. That's just such bogus. Can't believe the refs missed that call. You think they focus on Angel too much that game? I think Cardozo needs to have a better motor and be more aggressive. It's part of it's her fault. But I think in a different environment with a coach that wants the offense to go through, a 6'7" woman can actually hit layups better than Angel Reese. Her numbers would be bigger and she'd be playing better and she'd have more confidence. I think she has the potential to be an excellent player. And if she was on the Fever, or any team with a good coach, and I'm not saying this new coach isn't any good because we don't know that yet, but if she was on a team with a good coach, I think she could play better. Because last year, Teresa Weatherspoon was awful, as we all know. And it's 5 easy wins. I understand. I'm just saying, if you look at the schedule, and I studied the schedule, you play everybody in your conference 4 times, and then in the other conference, you play someone 4 or 3 times, depending on whether or not they run out of games, because at some point you get to 44. And it's different for each because there's 7 in one conference and 6 in the other. But again, that takes another game away from the Fever for someone. It might take a home game, an Indiana Fever home game for somebody if they only have 3 games against them. And that's not fair. So I thought it was a bad decision by the league to give them 5 games. And I think it was unfair to do that. And I don't know any other league that does that, where they give an extra game just because there's a rivalry going on. It's very strict. The NFL does it according to what place you came in, but not because it's a rivalry, other than the fact that you have a division. So it was bizarre that they did that. That was a poor decision. I think it's a poor decision to have 2 expansion teams next year instead of 1 next year and 1 the year after. I don't understand. They didn't sign the contract the exact same day, so whoever signed the contract first gets next year and the other one gets the following year. How hard is that? It's going to be a mess next year adding 2 expansion teams. You're probably going to save 5 players next year. Everybody else is going to be available because they're going to lower it down to 5 because they have 2 teams trying to get your players. So, and then you're going to have an odd number again for an extra year. That's just so stupid. And going to best of 7 in the finals and only best of 3 in the first round, another dumb decision. I mean, just how many dumb decisions can this league make before you just say this is a stupid league? Not market a woman that you could tell was going to be taken off. Yes, the people on his site is in that category. Well, she certainly looked as good as any player in the WNBA the first game. Now she's just got to do it every week and play good defense every week, keep her turnovers down, and I'm saying the right type of turnovers down. And because I like the high risk, high reward passes because they're usually underneath the basket layups where the person's open, and that is worth more than any different. That's worth more than a regular pass because it's a high percentage shot. So. I can see the Fever going 5-0 against Chicago. The petition was also, they're not going to get it out of Indy. That's just so silly. Don't worry about that. There would be an uproar. I'm not saying it's not fun. I understand why they did it. It doesn't hurt the Fever. I'm just talking about it from a neutral standpoint, not from an Indiana Fever standpoint. So that's just what I looked at it. Other than that, I agree with you. You like to see other fans' reactions to CC. When you go to Sky Rooms, it's rough, and you will get bullied by the moderators. Really, the moderators? See, I wouldn't bully an Angel Reese fans. Now, if they start saying, insulting things or factually inaccurate things, I will correct them and tell them they're not dealing with reality. But I won't insult them if they're not insulting to me. What did McNutt say? Did she really say something that infers that? The All-Star game's not moving. That's not even in consideration. It's just so ridiculous. And you're going to move an All-Star. Let's say one person said something. Let's pretend that someone said something racial. They're going to move an All-Star game because one fan said a racial comment. That's just bizarre. So I don't think it happened anyways. Everybody keeps saying she'll be in OnlyFans. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think she makes so much money off the fact that she's a WNBA star that she's not going anywhere. It keeps her in the limelight. If she gets injured, serious injury, she'll use it as an excuse. and then say, "Oh, I would have been the greatest, but I got injured." But I don't think she's going anywhere. I think if she can ever learn how to throw a layup properly, which may take her a year or two to do, because she's obviously can't correct the habit right away, because she did for one game in what, Unrivaled, and then when she went back to her old form. So it's hard to correct it. She should have listened to her coaches when she was younger and corrected her form then. She shoots from the side. It's awful form on her jump shot. And I think I quoted that Michael Jordan quote that I'll quote it again if anybody wants to hear it, about form and how important it is and technique. If anybody likes that, I'll quote it again. It's in a book over there on my couch. But it's my favorite quote about technique and form that Michael Jordan said. And it's very true. CC shot a 3-0. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't think Cardozo likes playing with Angel Reese. Let's put it that way. Well, that's true. That's true. I think there's actually a rule against grabbing someone's hair, actually, in basketball. I don't think in football you can. In football, I think it's in basketball it's considered unnecessary, but I'll have to look it up. In football, I know you can grab their hair, which I don't know. I think seems cheap to me, but it's legal. I believe it's Indiana and CC is on the team. Graphically closest to what? I guess I missed a comment. Oops. Yeah, I was hoping there'd be less drama this year. No such luck. Yeah, it's such a turnoff. If Caitlin Clark wasn't so gosh darn exciting to watch, I would have stopped watching. I mean, just yesterday, watching her pass the ball yesterday, it was exhilarating. Just one jaw-dropping pass after another. What were the GMs thinking? Chelsea Gray's the best passer in the WNBA, 3/4 in voted that. That's insanity. Seriously, they need to be locked up. So biased. It's just bias. It's not stupidity. It's bias. It's a stupid thought, but they're not stupid people. Best point guard tie. She should have got every vote for both of those categories. Most likely to design your offense around. She should have every vote for that one too. All you got to do is watch the double team and triple team last year, and you know that's true. It's so ridiculous, that poll. They must be old school people that are GMs. Yeah, it won't happen. It won't happen. There'd have to be something extreme done by fans. What are you going to do? Take it away the All-Star game for life? Well, you could say, okay, we're going to take it out this year and not never give it back to you. That's all sold out. You can't do that. You can't penalize for one person, even if one person. And so far, there's been no evidence one person did anything. When you correct some people, they call it insulting and bigotry. When they insult others or are bigoted in their comments, not merely expressing. That's not going to happen. Fine, let them boycott. Then they just replace them with other players who are dying to be in the All-Star game. It's not going to happen. First of all, there's no indication that anything was done wrong, other than they're playing the Dolphins down while she's taking a free throw. Rob didn't like that. Rob said he would have tell the scorekeeper to stop playing or he'd take his team away. Pretty drastic. No, there is no logic and reason to the WNBA. It's based upon emotion. So I'll agree with that for sure. It's all based upon emotion and not logic. That's why it's a poorly run league. Nothing's going to happen. Yeah, so why don't they just have it so that the Fever and the Sky don't play? Then she doesn't have it. She has no limelight anymore. What Jordan quote? Oh, I read it once before, but I'll read it again. Let me get it. So I wasn't going to read it again because I read it once before, but not everybody was there. And keep in mind that Jordan had great form when you're reading this. Okay, so here is Michael Jordan's comment about technique and form. You can practice shooting 8 hours a day, but if your technique is wrong, then all you become is very good at shooting the wrong way. Get the fundamentals down, and the level of everything you do will rise. I mean, this is not a new concept, but it's just well worded, and I like it. And that's exactly Angel Reese's problem. She's practicing with bad form right now, and so do a lot of other athletes. And they could be better if they practice with the proper form. That's all there is to it. There's a reason there's something called proper form. It's the most efficient way to do something. The most effective, whatever word you want to use. So, anyways, that was the quote. I hope you liked it. Yeah, I would love to interview Angel Reese's teammates from last year or the teammates at LSU, because I've never heard a negative thing said by any of Caitlin Clark's teammates ever, despite what other people make up, that she's not a good leader or anything like that. Everyone that's played with Caitlin Clark loves playing with Caitlin Clark that I know of. I never heard one thing. I doubt that's true for Angel Reese. And I would love to be a fly on the wall when Camila Cardozo is talking to her closest friends and relatives. and also Kennedy Carter, even if you don't like Kennedy Carter, which I don't like Kennedy Carter, I'd like to hear what she says about playing with Angel Reese. Appease the loudest voices. Hate the white girl. The haters got the material they wanted. Flagrant. Yeah, but the problem is they won by 35 and she got a triple double, and her defense was excellent. So, isn't that the most important thing? Really, they can have that crap if they want. They can say she padded for a triple double, whatever. They can say whatever they want. She got a favorite foul, whatever. She got a triple double with great defense, and they won by 35, and she looked like the best player in the league. Isn't that what we want? The offense was, they looked a little iffy in the first half. They played great in the second half. So the more Caitlin wins and the better she becomes, the more they're going to concentrate on things like that, because they have a losing argument as Caitlin Clark gets better and better, as her defense gets better and her turnovers go down and the team gets better and they win more. They have less and less of an argument against her for being the greatest player in the game. So they have to concentrate on other things. That's all they have left. That's what's going to happen. She's going to be the best player in the league, and she's going to be the GOAT, and they'll have nothing left but this trivial stuff that won't be important to us if we just ignore it. That's the way I look at it. I don't want to hear about this drama anymore. I just want to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. Does that make sense, everybody? Hopefully. An 80-year-old grandma wanted to play CC one-on-one? Is she good? How tall is she? He has 27 videos. That's probably a real number too, right? Because he had 21 in one day before. So that doesn't surprise me. We put out five. And I have some more tomorrow. I have some other ideas, but Rob had to work today. All right. So maybe they'll move the All-Star game, but I don't think so. I agree. It wouldn't be logical. So I agree. Okay. I agree. They're not logical. So I guess you can make that argument, but I don't think it's going to happen. The uproar would be too great. If what happened in Atlanta that they moved the All-Star game was, I forgot what the reasoning was. Right. I agree. I'm not saying it's an original thought by Jordan. I just like the way he worded it. Right. People say practice makes perfect. No, yeah. Perfect practice makes perfect. You have to do the right technique as you practice. And so if you're practicing poorly and poor technique, you're only like being 80 to 90% time efficient, because that's where you're going to be. You're going to be 80, 90% as good as if you had the proper technique. And that's why quarterbacks who have poor shooting motion in their arms, a lot of them, like a slow release and stuff, that hurts them. And they should have corrected it when they were younger. You watch Dan Marino release a ball. That's proper technique. Oh, I don't know if I didn't blame Kennedy for all the locker room problems at the Sky myself. I blamed Kennedy and Angel last year, and the coach. I don't know about, what's her name, Marina Mabry? Is that her name? I don't know if she was a problem or not. I think she can be dirty. That way she had Caitlin Clark in the head for no reason when she was driving to the basket. She could have stopped the shot without hitting her in the head. It looked dirty to me. So she's on my bad list right now. It's bad enough enough players. They didn't have to add more players to her. Is there a game tonight in the NBA or WNBA? I was so busy today doing things. What do we got today? Oh, the Storm's playing the Wings. All right. Storm versus the Wings. That's Seattle. Who are their guards? It's Lexi Brown, Alicia Clark, and Skylar Diggins. So they're going to go up against Paige. I wonder who's going to cover Paige. Probably Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins is a pretty good defender, even though she's annoying. Maybe. I haven't played any real basketball in 40 years. I started playing Ultimate when I was 17. And I essentially stopped playing basketball to concentrate on Ultimate Frisbee. And so I was decent by the time when I stopped playing, but I wasn't going to make a high school team, but I was too short. I wrestled. Major League Baseball had to pay millions in lawsuits for moving it. I wonder if they wish they hadn't. I enjoy that back and forth on the court. I don't enjoy that drama from it. So. Oh, really? The grandma said she wanted one-on-one. I saw a video where these kids were shooting shots and King Clark was smacking the shots as a joke. I don't know. I'm sure she has a reason why I was doing that. I don't know. I think she was just playing around, I guess, but it seems pretty extreme to me. She probably thought it was a contest, and she's so competitive. What time? The game's at 8, I think it said. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, it said yeah, 8 on NBA TV. What about the NBA? When's the next NBA game? That's tomorrow night. Game 1. Timberwolves at Thunder. Thunder only get a day rest after a game 7, but they're at home, so they were at home before. They don't have to travel. It's okay. They got to start the series because Timberwolves have been waiting. So I guess Rob's Knicks must play Wednesday night. I guess that's must be for sure. Yeah. All right. Pacers and Knicks. Knicks got the home court advantage the rest of the playoffs as long as they win. Oh, no, they don't. OKC had to lose for that. I'm sorry. OKC had to lose to Denver because Denver had 50 wins and the Knicks had 51. So now they have it, though, for this finals, but won't have it against OKC if they win, but they'll have it if OKC loses. They had, that's not true. They had 15, attendance went up 1,500 from 2023 to 2024. It's not 1,000. But there was 2 rookies. Camille Cardozo, you have to give her credit for some of the new fans. So that means give Angel Reese what? Give Angel Reese 2/3 of them? That means 1,000 extra for Angel Reese, maybe 500 because of Camille Cardozo. That's not very many. Caden Clark went up from 14,000, went up 14,000, I believe it was, right? What was the, let me just see. Because I think their attendance is, let me make sure I got that right. They only had 4,000 the year before. Let me just see. sad, but well, let me see something. What the hell? What are you doing to me? All right, here we go. Let me look something up. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. 8 things we learned from WNBA's opening weekend. All right, Clark backed the investigation. All right, okay, whatever. She didn't back it. She's just saying the right thing. She's always going to say that. Yeah, 17,274 is what that holds. And they were 14,000 the year before. And they sold out like every game but 1 or 2. So who's on with Adrian Ross? What are you talking about here? All right. She might have to guard Enrique. Skylar Diggins. Yeah, that's true. Skylar Diggins is a good defender, though. Just annoying. Yeah. Really? Who gets in fights? Where is this you're talking about? I'm confused by your conversation. Sorry, I was looking something up. Tulip is moderator for Rosanna Lee. She makes fond comments. Suber did a video with Sabrina. Oh, really? I didn't see that. Mm. Everyone has different tastes. Oops. That's a good point, Kent. Yes, I don't know why people were afraid to say the word monkey. I wasn't afraid to say the word monkey. I didn't understand. That was weird. I know you want to avoid certain words for algorithm, but that was weird that people didn't want to say the word monkey. What? How could that get you in trouble? They don't know the content that it's in. It's not that extreme. Very strange. They're going to sue. Class action lawsuit. It was very weird that she wouldn't say the word monkey. I went over to watch the video because she had the thing on Dave Portnoy that I wanted to see, and I couldn't find it on the internet when I did this search, and I gave up. Yeah, you can say the word cracker as long as you say cheese in the same sentence. I don't see how the word monkey can get you in trouble. And you don't even have to put the word race or racial in the same sentence when you talk about it. You can just say that they were accused of hearing the word monkey. I had no trouble saying that word. All right. My favorite cracker is Pepperidge Farm Harvest Ground Wheat crackers. That's my favorite cracker. My favorite cheese is brie cheese. You melt the brie cheese, put it over the Harvest Brown crackers with like beef stick. Basil's quoting George Carlin. Yeah, he'd have to do something pretty extreme because I think he realizes his limitations. My guess is, but maybe he'll get drunk sometime and say something wrong. But I doubt it. Chicken noodle soup and crackers. Oh, I actually got a compliment from Basil, but I'm sure it was sarcasm. So, what word sentence, anything 2025 can't get spun at the race? Yeah, I never know when I do a thumbnail whether I should put the word hate in the thumbnail or not, if that's going to hurt, or even in the heading. The word hate is going to hurt the algorithm with YouTube. So I put despise when I had the top 10 words I hate Caitlin Clark in the heading, and it still didn't get a lot of views. So maybe I should have put the word hate in there. So I like the Chevy Chase and the Richard Pryor scene where they go back and forth. I think the last line is dead cracker. Smoked cheddar is good. Not club. I'm telling you these. If you ever guys had these crackers, I'll show them to you. Pepperidge Farm Harvest Wheat crackers. Just the right. Fevers like Cheez-It crackers. I like flavor in my crackers. So those like those bland white ones, I don't really like them. I like a little flavor to them. Dennis knows what I'm talking about. Pepperidge Farm makes them. They're awesome. Well, all the Pepperidge Farm's stuff is good, but and then Triscuits I like growing up. They have so many different flavors now. But I guess I just like the wheat crackers. That video of how well you do know them was so funny. Which you talking about me? Is that what video was this? How well you know them was funny. Iowa signed another top prospect last week. Oh, good for them. I mean, you got who's that woman that waited? What's their coach's name again? She waited to be the whole kid. Oh. Oh. Oh, really? I haven't seen it. I think I saw a headline about it or something. How well do you know your teammates? Engelbert definitely has to go. Silver's borderline. Those are really more like cookies, though. Yeah. I like chocolate, though, if I'm going to have a cookie. I saw that a headline about that. How well do you know your teammate thing? Yeah, David Stern was definitely a better commissioner than Adam Silver. Even if he was a little bit aloof, should I say? He knew what he was doing. I mean, it helped that he had Michael Jordan to when he was there at first, but he continued to make some good decisions, except for when he stopped that one trade. I thought he was out of line. I like all cookies. I like all cookies as long as they don't have coconut in them. But I like any cookie that has chocolate in it. Caitlin spares nobody. Yeah, they won't put Sharon Miller in the commissioner, but they should. Or Nancy Lieberman. She won't care what the players think. She'll work for the owners and she'll do what's right. But you got to agree with me on something. But the best tasting stuff in the planet is homemade ice cream. Forget cookies. Homemade ice cream blows any cookie away. If you had my homemade ice cream, I'm going to make blueberry ice cream tomorrow. Dark chocolate, peanut butter, mint brownie. Homemade ice cream is so good. It's never been frozen, so that the flavor just bursts in your mouth. I could I could eat homemade ice cream all day, every day if it didn't, my cholesterol wouldn't be too high. Yeah, Silver's too much of a player's coach. Excuse me. Getting tired. Didn't take a nap today, so I'm getting tired. Maybe I'll watch Paige tonight. It might be a good March. I didn't even watch the New York Liberty game and the Aces, but so Mick says he watches basketball games at triple speed. I don't know. I heard him say that today. I don't always take a nap. Just sometimes. Depends on how well I slept the night before. What time I got up. But he says he watches basketball at triple speed. I never thought to watch something at triple speed. I could see you watching basketball at 1.5 times speed. After that, it would seem like you're no longer watching the sport for what it is. I mean, it just wouldn't. Everything would be distorted. He said triple speed. He watches videos in triple speed, games in triple speed. He's talking about other teams that he watches. He goes, yeah, watch them in triple speed. You sometimes you miss something, but I don't believe he watches as much basketball as he says he does. But if he's watching at triple speed, he can watch 3 times as much. But I don't see how he has time. He's always making videos. Hang on a second. Leveled up. I just leveled up. I don't mind Mick. He talks mostly about ball, not other stuff. Yeah, but he makes stuff up. And then he repeats himself so often. I want it to be more concise, but he has so much air fluff in there. And he repeats himself so often. He has like some really bad takes because he doesn't think through it. He just makes stuff up. He just makes things. Yeah, I like Paige. And I don't think she's like an exciting player like Caitlin Clark, but I think she's more exciting than most basketball players, most female basketball players. She does have a certain flair to her. So I do enjoy watching her play. It's just not on the same level as Caitlin Clark. It will be interesting to see what her career is. People blamed Gino for holding her back. Now she has her chance to shine. 8 minutes and 4 seconds is his typical video. I don't know why it's not 8 minutes and 1 second, but it just always seems to be 8 minutes and 4 seconds. So, yes, I think I could be wrong. I think Enrique will have a good influence on Paige, and Paige will have a good influence on Enrique. They should, if they're smart. because one's not assertive enough and one's too assertive with their shooting. So maybe it'll rub off. I like Enrique's personality, and I like some of her game because she also gets a lot of assists, rebounds, and steals. So she's not a one-dimensional player, but she takes bad shots, and that's not good when you're a volume shooter. Like Jewel Lloyd last year. That's why they were upset with her. What did Rachel have to say? She won't make a strong opinion. One thing, though, is she's nice. Obviously, she's beautiful, but she knows basketball. I think she played Division I basketball. So she's just not talking about a sport she doesn't know. And she has good opinions. They're just not strong enough for me. I like someone to take a stand on things. But she's very popular, and she's been doing it a long time. The Dallas coach is horrible. Yeah, that's the impression I get. Well, I'm just saying it could happen. Sometimes players influence each other. I'm not saying for sure it will happen. That's just my guess. Good influence in the sense that people complain that Paige is not assertive enough and is so concerned about efficiency and her shooting percentage that she won't ever take a shot that's not a super high percentage shot. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how I could explain it any better than that. Yeah, she's a chucker. I agree with you. I'm not denying any of that. Oops. She's married. I thought she talks about her boyfriend. I didn't hear her talk about a husband. I didn't think Rachel was married. I heard her mention a boyfriend about 3 to 6 months ago. Maybe I misunderstood what she said. She might. If she doesn't get injured, she'll have an excellent career. I see her first team All-Pro someday. So whether she'll ever be an MVP or not, I don't know. I hope not, because she's playing the same time as Caitlin Clark. They're the same age. I want Caitlin Clark to win MVP every year. What man bun guy are we talking about? Sorry, there's a man bun guy. I've seen him do videos where he talks about something. He starts looking things up in the internet, just searches, he goes, let me do this. And that's just fill up the 8 minutes. I've seen him do that. I don't know why everybody would want to listen to a video like that with so much filler. When I'm recording a video with Rob and I suddenly realize I don't know something, I go, oh, let me look this up. And I stop the video and look it up. Because I know you guys will correct me if I say something wrong. I mean, if it's an important fact, if it's really important, I won't. They figure if they don't page too much, she could live up to the expectations, or she's better than what they say beforehand. Oh, look at how great she is. Look she's better than we thought she was going to be. They're preparing Juju to be great to go. I agree with that. Who is Man Bun? What is he on? I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I missed something. Is he a coach? All right, Charlie, I agree with that. There's nothing cool about a man bun. I don't care. I don't think guys should have ponytails or man buns. This is my personal opinion. If they want to have long hair, fine, have long hair, but man buns and ponytails, I don't know. I wouldn't have really long hair even if I could. I agree. So is she engaged or is she married? No, we don't. We don't need Bill Lambert. And Bill Lambert is a disgrace. So, lads, today we're going to talk about he's got a man bun. Oh, God. And they think he's hot because he has a man bun or because they think he has a handsome face? Well, I don't think them winning 30 games is the only standard, but I actually think they're going to win 33, as I put in my video. Rob thinks they're going to win 30. Act Nation, about a month ago on our show, said 30. I'm going with 33. If they had looked as good as they did in the second half of yesterday's game, I would have gone with 35, but they didn't blow me away in preseason, so I stuck with 33. But I can see them winning. If that team gets on a roll, I can see them winning more than 33. But maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I don't know. If they stay healthy, it's not a strong position to know about man buns. Bros and broads. I don't use the term broads. Occasionally, I say chicks. Act Nation likes chicks. Yes, I was talking about him as a player, though. I know he's a very successful coach. We've gone over that. Your nephew had gorgeous red curly long hair. What happened? He got older? Do you do his hair, retro hairstylist? Or you only do woman hair? See, you guys say I talk too much. So that's why I turned it over to Rob. Yes, 44. So they'd be 33-11, which is a 750 winning percentage. It's just 3 wins for every loss. And that seems about right. 3 wins for every loss. They're going to lose away games to the top 3 teams. That's a couple games. And then they're going to lose games they shouldn't lose, too. So you get about 11 losses. But, I mean, New York was 32-8 last year, weren't they? So they could have a similar record to that. 33 games with Bonner doing better. Yeah, but she didn't shoot well, but I'm not too worried about it. Just you have to have everyone. You have to have health to have for them to win. 35 games and stuff like that. You have to be really, really healthy. Because if you get unhealthy, you're going to lose games that you shouldn't have lost. All right, well, thanks. Yeah, no, Rob's not a big talker. I told him I wanted him to break down the highlights and do the videos, but it's problems with. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow morning and break it really down into plays and everything like that. You have to be careful with these dumb copyright infringements and stuff like that, and you don't know whether it's going to be a problem until after you record the video. Sometimes. So the more video we put in, the more chance of it being a problem with copyright. Family cuts. So you could have done my hair when I was younger. I showed you my pictures when I was younger. I think I got it on Facebook. With hair. Retro, did I show you that before or not? I don't know if I did that once on this show. I thought I did it once. I cut my own hair too. And I have a different hairstyle every day because I shave it every 4 days. So each day is a different length. So it's essentially a different haircut. So I have 4 different hairstyles. No, you didn't? I didn't? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I can get the. Why is that? All right. There you go. That's me with hair when I was 17. Now, you prefer this over man bun? 17. I don't know why it's phased out a little bit. Yeah, someone made a Jeffrey Dahmer coach comment before. I'm better looking than Jeffrey Dahmer. Nice shades. You like those? They were probably $5. Thank you, Donna. 1977. Yeah, I think it was probably going into my senior. I was probably just turning 7. I think it was the summer before my senior year. I took those photos. I'm trying to remember. So it would have been. I was like right before my 17th birthday. I might have been 16 still. David Caruso has red hair, though. I have blonde hair. Like my 2 brothers have red hair like David Caruso. I have 4. We have 6 kids in our family. With 4 of us had blonde hair and 2 had red hair, and we all have blue eyes because both my parents had blue eyes. We're like 5/8 German and 1/8 Dutch and 1/4 Irish. You were in 5th grade in 77? Okay. So I was like, what, 7 years ahead of you? Before I made a mistake in life. 2 years before you made a mistake in life? No. All right. I don't know the calories that huge. Star Wars opening night. Oh, really? Year or two. I was, yeah, no, it's probably 70. I'm sorry, 76. It was probably 76 because I graduated in 77. I think this was the summer before my senior year, so it would have been 76. I would have been 16, almost 17. So it was about then, but I'm not sure. I have the photographs. I don't have dates on them though. You corrected said mistakes in 1990. Yeah, anytime you get a divorce, that means you made a mistake. Because you're supposed to get married for life, right? Dennis, you're in the military? What branch? Yes, thank you for your service. And how long were you in the military for? Dennis, what are you only? You must only be like 34 years old then, right? Anyways, everybody's seen the pictures by now. I'll take them down. You guys done with your jokes yet? Before I take the pictures down. All right. All the mice are out of the house now. You enlisted before they drafted you. I thought Aerosmith already did their final tour. Are they back on tour again? Anyways, I'm going to watch Paige play, believe it or not. And then find some highlights to do, maybe do a breakdown of the game and video so Rob can break down some strategy. And so I'm going to go off the air at 8. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you want, there's super chats and super thanks. That'd be a big help. We don't seem to get many of those, but it would be helpful if anyone gives super chats and super thanks to support the channel. Yeah, the WNBA game is on, I think, NBA TV. And I'll go live tomorrow for the game. So Rob's working, but he'll be there Thursday. And Rich Latta's going to the game in Atlanta. He said he was buying tickets. So last I knew, he said he won't be there for the show, but he's going to try to if he has Wi-Fi at the stadium, he's going to try to link up with us. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Tomorrow, I think the game's at 7. One's at 7, one's at 7:30 this week, right? I forgot which one it is. Game's tomorrow. Yeah, 7. I think Thursday's game's at 7:30. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully that Wi-Fi solution, it just was a temporary thing for a couple minutes. All right, thanks, Charlie. Appreciate the compliment. All right. So the dreams are haters too. Night retro.